Welcome to the tutorials. This video is going to be all about the attribute selector. We have a lot to discuss, so don't forget to subscribe and let's get started. First, on our page we have 4 random paragraphs, and in the middle we have 2 links, one for Google and one for random.net. Now let's move to VS Code, and here all the elements have a title attribute, and the 2 first paragraphs are inside div tags. Now let's move on to CSS style sheet. And you're going to start with the syntax for the attribute selector, and let's start with square brackets, and inside we're going to provide the attribute we want to target. In our case it's title, curly braces, and let's say background color, and let's say now let's check the browser, and now we can notice that every paragraph we have has a yellow background. Now let's go back to VS Code. Let's be more specific. Now let's put div before title, and in this case the styling is gonna apply to every div that has the title attribute. Now let's go back to the browser and check it, and here we can notice that the styling applied only to the first 2 paragraphs. Now let's go back to VS Code and let's add a value for the title. So here is gonna be first paragraph. Now let's go back to browser. This is as much specific as we can be. Now let's go back to the VS Code, and now we're gonna do something totally different. So let's delete all this. Let's put a tag, and let's choose the href attribute, and we're gonna put equal. Let's put a link for Google. Let's change the font size. Let's say 50 pixels. Now let's check the browser, and there we can notice that the styling applied to the first link. Now let's go back. Now let's suppose that we want the styling to be applied to any website that has the word Google in it. So just delete this, put Google, and after the href attribute we need to add an asterisk. Now let's change the color, for example, let's say green. Now let's check the browser, and we can notice that the styling applied. One last thing, let's say we want the styling to be applied to any website that has the ending, that has a specific ending, let's say like .net, for example. In this case we need to, instead of the asterisk, we need to change that to a $sign. Now let's check the browser, and here it's applied to random.net. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time.